use nmap and do a scan on 10.00.67. Perfect. It has performed the nmap scan, and you can see this is the results that it got back from the MCP server. And it says currently port 22 and port 5000 are running, and this is exactly what we are looking for. Hi guys, I'm Sid. In this video, I'm going to tell you how to use MCP to control your pen testing tools. Let's get started. Alright, so this is how we traditionally perform our pen testing. You use your pen testing machine. It can be Kali OS or it can be Parrot OS or some other machine of your choice, and use tools on the machine, Nmap, Burp Suite, GoBuster, etc., and perform a pen test on some target XYZ. But over the last few years, as we all of us know, the AI has grown a lot. So the way we do certain things have changed. And one of them is also pen testing. Instead of you directly accessing your pen testing machine, you use your chatbot. It can be Claude, it can be Gemini, or it can be ChatGPT. And you just give a command to your chatbot saying, hey, run a pen test on machine XYZ. And the chatbot magically does the pen test on behalf of you. How? It uses something called Model Context Protocol. It's okay if you don't know what this is, but using this technology, the chatbot tells the MCP server, hey, go and perform Nmap scan on target XYZ. Then your pen testing machine has the MCP server running. So the MCP server translates that plain English request to the actual commands, performs the scans, and returns back the results to your chatbot. Now your chatbot reads through all of those results and converts that back into plain English that you can understand so you can see the results. For the demonstration of the MCP server, I'm gonna use this project written by the author who am I123, and I'm gonna put this link in the description below. There is also another project called Hexstrike AI, which is an MCP server, and this is also a very popular one. I can also make a separate video on this if you guys would like to see how it performs. So back to this tool. Now, how this works, in order for us to use this tool, we have to do a bunch of different steps. The first one is we have to clone the repository on the machine where we have all the pen testing tools installed. In my case, I have my Kali machine, which has all of them. So after you clone it, we have to run the Kali server, which actually gets the request from the MCP server and runs them on our Kali machine. Next, wherever we are using our LLM chatbot, we have to run the MCP server there. I'm going to show you how to do it once we approach that step. So as a first step, I'm going to clone this repository on my Kali machine. So we have all the files here. Now, the next step is to install the requirements. The hygienic process is to always use a virtual environment. So Python 3, dash m module, venv, which is the virtual environment module, and the name of our virtual environment is also going to be venv. Alright, it is ready. Now we are going to activate this virtual environment, Python. So we are going to activate this virtual environment. For that, I'm going to do source venv activate. Now this is activated. I'm going to install all the requirements. So pip3 install dash r recursively install requirements.txt. So this installs all the requirements for us. Yes, they're installed. Now I'm going to run the Kali server, Kali tab, so Kali server.py, and I have to pass an argument for this. So by default, if I don't give any arguments, it runs on our local host on port 5000. Since I'm gonna use my LLM chatbot on base machine, which is Mac OS, I want this server to run on my external network adapter. So which is I have config, which is 10.00.67. So this is the bridge networking, and it shares the same network with my base machine. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run the Kali server, but on my external network adapter. There you go. So this now runs on 10.0.0.67 on port 5000. Perfect. The next step we have to do is we have to install the MCP server on our client machine.
Git clone. Alright, it is cloned. Next, let's go into the repository. And I'm going to repeat the same steps as before. I'm going to install the requirements.txt by creating a virtual environment first. Then activate and pip3 install requirements.txt.
So Python 3 MCP server.py and the server. So it is running on our Kali IP, which is 10.0.0.67 port 5000. Yes, you can see here our MCP server is connected to our Kali server and the connection is established between both of them. The final step is to connect the MCP server with our LLM chatbot. So in my case, I'm following the same documentation as here. I'm using the Claude desktop. So there is no specific restriction for you. You can use any chatbot of your choice as long as it supports MCP tool calling. And now I'm going to open my Claude desktop, go to settings and go to developer, click on edit and open the Claude desktop configuration file. As you can see, there are no MCP server attached to our Claude. Now I'm going to paste the configuration code and I'm just making sure the document is formatted correctly. And I'm going to replace this with the exact path to the MCP server. So I have done this previously, so which is why the LLM agent that is running behind the screens on my code editor automatically suggested this one. And the Kali Linux is IP is 10.0.0.67 and I'm going to save this. And now that we have made the configuration changes, we have to restart the Cloud desktop for the changes to get in effect. All right, guys, I made a small mistake here. We are using our virtual environment to run our MCP server. So in the same code, instead of using Python 3, we have to give the exact path to our virtual environment, which is env and bin, and this is the path to the Python 3 we have to provide in the configuration file. So I'm gonna copy this, paste it here, slash and Python 3. I'm just using tab for autocomplete. All right, let's test our luck again. I'm gonna quit Claude desktop and I'm gonna reopen it again. It says unexpected non-white space character after JSON at position 4. You can safely ignore it. In order to verify if we have the connection, you can verify it here. In the connectors, we can see Kali MCP, so which means our MCP server is successfully connected. Now we can start doing the automation here. So as a first step, I'll ask Claude whether it actually got connected to the MCP server.
Hey, have you connected to the MCP server or Kali MCP server? It's right over here.
At first, it doesn't have any, at first, it doesn't know that it can connect to the Kali MCP server. So in the next step, what it does is it checked for the list of available tools installed, and then it realized that there is indeed one relevant tool, and then it tried to connect with the MCP server and it got succeeded. Now it has these tools available: Nmap, GoBuster, Direbuster, Nikto. And it also says it has access to additional tools like SQL Map, Metasploit, Hydra, and etc. So I'm gonna ask it,
Give me the list of all available tools you have with this MCP server.
now it enumerates what are all the available tools it has and it gives all the list of available tools it supports. Perfect. Now let's make a simple um, network scan using Nmap. Use Nmap and do a scan on 10.00.67. Perfect. It has performed the Nmap scan, and you can see this is the results that it got back from the MCP server. And it says currently port 22 and port 5000 are running, and this is exactly what we are looking for. The 5000 is the Kali server that we are running on the Kali machine, and port 22 is the SSH server that I usually use to communicate between my base machine and my Kali machine. And it also says it detected the OS as Linux. And basically what it is doing here is it is just translating the results of this Nmap scan into plain English for us to understand. That's all.